Can hypnotherapy help you remember past lives? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe. I'm Mark, I'm a hypnotherapist, and today we're diving into what might be a bit of a controversial topic when it comes to hypnotherapy, but it's quite intriguing. I'm going to be answering the question, can hypnotherapy really help you remember past lives? And should you believe that memories you bring up in hypnotherapy are actually real? Let's dive in. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, what I'm going to say in this video might challenge your perspective of memory and healing. We're going to look at the science, the stories, and we're going to discuss the surprising therapeutic benefits that past life regression hypnotherapy can offer, whether past lives are real or not. Past life regression hypnotherapy is a technique where a trained, experienced hypnotherapist guides someone into a deeply relaxed state, a state that might be likened to meditation. I describe hypnosis as a focused state of attention. If you were driven somewhere, got into your journey, got into your destination, not remembered the journey, that's hypnosis. Been watching TV, zoned out, lost track of time, or reading a book, zoned out, lost track of time, that's hypnosis. So past life regression hypnotherapy, we're looking to access what might be past life memories. During these sessions, people often experience vivid memories, seeing themselves and even living lives in different time periods with different genders, living in different cultures. Sometimes they even experience themselves as an entirely different species. They might experience themselves as a donkey or an elephant or something. When someone is in a state of hypnosis, experiencing a past life regression, they might be able to describe vivid historical details. They might even be able to speak in languages they've never learnt. Are these actual memories from past lives, or is something else happening in the mind? Let me share with you what typically happens during a past life regression hypnotherapy session. One client came to me with an extreme fear of water. She didn't know where this fear had come from in her current lifetime. She'd never experienced any incidents around water. Under hypnosis, she experienced what felt like drowning as a young sailor in the 1800s. The details she gave of this experience were very specific. She could describe the ship, she could describe the state of the seas, she could even describe the rough texture of the rope she tried to climb up to get out of the sea. Another client had chronic pain in his shoulder that doctors couldn't explain. During regression, he experienced being a soldier during medieval times, and he was wounded with an arrow. The arrow went into the exact spot where this modern pain existed. And these aren't isolated cases. Therapists who do past life regression often report similar accounts. They report people describing historical experiences they didn't know anything about, speaking languages they don't know, Sanskrit is a very common language for people to start speaking during past life regression, and it's a very rare language to learn, so I'm told. What I find most intriguing is that people often find relief from their problems in their current life through these experiences. Now let's talk science. Mainstream science, mainstream psychology doesn't recognize past lives as a thing. Instead, researchers point to a lot of fascinating psychological phenomena that could explain these experiences and these breakthroughs that people have from past life regression. First, there's something called cryptomnesia. This is where old memories resurface and feel completely new. That medieval battle, that man with an injured shoulder experience, that could have come from a movie he watched years earlier. Then there's the power of suggestion. Going into a hypnotic state makes someone more suggestible, more receptive to these narratives. For example, when a therapist asks, "What do you see in this past life?" even if the person isn't actually in a state where they're experiencing a past life, it's a presupposition. So they're presupposing the person is experiencing a past life, and then their unconscious mind will feel obliged to fill in the blanks, to maybe create a narrative. And that's why it's important that you go to a trained and experienced therapist who uses clean language. I speak about clean language on my hypnotherapy, hypnosis practitioner course. You can find a link to that in the description below. When I say clean language, I don't mean not swearing, I mean not leading the client. There's also something called confabulation. This is our brain's tendency to create stories under hypnosis. These stories can feel absolutely real and emotionally powerful. And your mind can't tell the difference between a real or an imagined event, which again is why hypnosis and hypnotherapy can be so effective. Just by imagining yourself the way you want to be, you actually create new memories, new neural pathways, and you're able to start to associate with yourself that way. Multiple studies have found that people who are in a state of hypnosis, experiencing past life regression, often describe historical events with a lot of inaccuracies. They might place electric lights in medieval castles or describe Roman centurions or whatever they were called using firearms. This would suggest the mind is creatively combining information rather than accessing true memories. But here's the thing, whether past lives are real or not, past life regression hypnotherapy often offers real benefits to clients. The lady I spoke about earlier with the water phobia, after experiencing that past life where she was a sailor drowning, she completely overcame that fear of water. The man's shoulder pain improved after he experienced that past life regression, processed that arrow wound. How is this possible? How could this happen if those past life memories aren't real? The unconscious mind is an incredibly creative storyteller, and metaphors are really powerful in helping people to process emotions and events. When someone has unexplained fears, chronic pain, relationship patterns that their conscious mind can't explain, or maybe repressed memories from their current life that are too painful for them to experience, their psyche might create elaborate metaphors that help them process those experiences. The past life becomes a safe container for exploring difficult emotions, as I said, repressed memories. It might be easier to feel compassion for a wounded medieval soldier than process your own trauma. It's less threatening to release the grief of a stranger from another century than process your own emotional pain. And this brings us to what could be called the metaphor theory. Past life experiences might be the unconscious mind's way of creating symbolic narratives that represent current psychological states. A person who feels trapped in their career or a toxic relationship might experience their past life as a prisoner. Someone struggling with self-worth might experience life as a peasant or a servant. Someone with issues about authority or with authority figures might experience a past life living under an oppressive government. These metaphorical stories allow a person to explore their deepest patterns and emotions from a safe psychological distance. We can heal the past life character, and in doing so, we're able to heal those aspects of ourselves. Regardless of their ultimate reality, past life regression hypnosis has shown numerous benefits for many individuals. Clients often report decreased anxiety, overcoming phobias, improved relationships, reduced chronic pain, greater understanding of themselves, and releasing those unconscious blockages, limiting beliefs that might be holding them back. Some find relief from guilt or shame by forgiving past life actions. Others discover new perspectives on current life challenges. The key seems to be deep relaxation, symbolic processing, and the brain's or unconscious mind's natural healing processes. Whether you believe in reincarnation or whether you believe you can recall actual past lives or see this kind of past life regression therapy as a metaphor for healing, the evidence suggests that past life regression hypnotherapy can be a very powerful healing tool. Our minds have an incredible capacity for healing through story, symbolism, and imagination. Sometimes the truth that heals isn't a literal truth, but an emotional one. Can hypnotherapy help you remember past lives? Possibly. But if hypnotherapy is able to help you overcome issues in your current life through past life regression, why does it matter if those memories are real or not? Whether they're memories or metaphors, these successes of past life regression hypnotherapy really expose, reveal the mind's capability to heal. What do you think? Have you ever experienced something that felt like a past life memory? Have you ever experienced past life regression hypnotherapy? Let me know your experiences in the comments. Let me know if you think past lives are real or not.